From crown to clay, a journey through ancient Egypt. You open your eyes to a golden world. The sun spills across walls of polished alabaster. Palm leaves rustle outside silk-draped windows. Incense curls in the air, sweet with frankincense and myrrh. Servants kneel, priests chant, scribes await your words. For you are Pharaoh, chosen by the gods, beloved of Ra, the morning sun. When you speak, stone is carved. When you blink, thousands notice. You sit at the peak of a civilization that worships you as divine. But even gods must sleep, and in sleep, dreams wander. You wake up in a world where the sun's golden rays seep through delicate curtains, revealing patterns of ancient dreams on your palace walls. You're not just anyone. You are Pharaoh, the living embodiment of power and divinity in ancient Egypt. Your bed isn't merely a place to rest, it's a throne of opulence, where sheets of the finest linen wrap around you like clouds, whispering stories of your grandeur and legacy. Yet, with this magnificence comes a profound expectation, an invisible mantle of responsibility interwoven with every thread of your luxurious surroundings. As you rise and let your feet touch the cool marble floors, the weight of your unique role begins to settle in. Every step, every breath reminds you that being a pharaoh is more than just ruling a kingdom. It's an intricate dance, balancing between divine worship and earthly leadership. The voices of your advisors echo gently, mingling with the sounds of the awakening city beyond your grand balcony. This morning ritual serves not only as preparation for the day, but also as a vivid reminder of the privilege you're bestowed with and the intricate duties that accompany it. Ahead is a journey to explore what it truly means to wield such power, gracefully navigating the expectations of both gods and people. In the heart of ancient Egypt, a morning unfurls within a palace that is nothing short of a masterpiece. The first light of day penetrates the delicate linen curtains, illuminating a room steeped in splendor and gilded finery. As Pharaoh, waking is an ascent back into a realm where dreams and divine right blend seamlessly. Each morning commences in a world resplendent with golden glamour, where even the air seems heavy with the essence of opulence, and history whispers from every ornate corner. The bed itself, more a throne than a resting place, offers a paradox of grandeur and solace. Exquisitely carved from rare and polished woods, it stands upon legs that echo the curves of the Nile, gleaming with inlays of lapis lazuli and carnelian. Sheets of the finest linen, softer than the morning mist, cocoon the sleeper in warmth that hints of luxury. At the foot of this elaborate puzzle of design, gold-encrusted footboards boast patterns of divine symbols, ensuring protection and power even in slumber. Rays of sunlight burst through, dancing across walls embedded with gold plates that flicker like a field of yellow flames. The ceiling arches high above, painted to mimic the nighttime sky, with jewels reflecting as stars, as if the cosmos themselves conspired to protect the sanctity of this chamber. Sculptures of Sekhmet and Horus stand sentinel, their eyes ever watching, glistening as guardians of peace, their astonishing craftsmanship blending art with spirituality. As a gentle breeze catches through the balcony's open doors, the scent of blooming lotus wafts in, mingling with the lingering rhythm of a city in the throes of awakening. The ambient sounds slip like whispered secrets through the corridor, hushed footsteps of servants, the distant crow of a rooster, and the low hum of life beyond the palace's tranquil interior. Every sensory detail colludes to remind the pharaoh of their role not just as ruler, but as custodian of all that lives beneath the sun. Stepping onto floors that are cooling marble, meticulously laid to reflect patterns of flowing water, the transition signifies a tactile shift from dreams to responsibilities. This is a stark contrast, no doubt, to the mud bricks and straw beds of common folk, whose worlds begin differently. Yet, for Pharaoh, the very act of waking is laden with intention, each choice, each breath, more vital than the next. Before the morning sustenance, attendants glide into the room, their linen robes ghost-like in silence, their devotion palpable. Their presence is a temporal reminder of the unbroken lineage of servitude and duty, each one a thread in the tapestry of kingdom life. They bring with them alabaster jars filled with perfumed oils and fragrant unguents, shimmering in the light, a testament to the intricate ritual of grooming that awaits. As these sacred rituals unfold, the senses come alive with the touch of cool oils and the heady scent of myrrh, a dance of preparation for the day's endeavors. The meticulous ceremony is a joyful concentration, an offering in itself, transforming the pharaoh from mortal to near deity, ready to wield power gently yet authoritatively. In these moments, time elongates, a reminder that even the divine must prepare meticulously for the weight they carry. Draped in a mantle of pure white linen, the pharaoh's silhouette is silhouetted against the early sun, a human embodiment of Ra's light, encapsulating the divine harmony between earth and the celestial. Around the neck, jewels glint, emeralds, amethysts, turquoise, each stone a symbol of protection, prosperity, unity. These adornments are not mere decoration, but artifacts of identity and cosmic balance. As the palace awakens, so too does the pharaoh's mind, knitted with a stream of considerations, landing upon the responsibilities that reign alongside the privilege. To rule is to navigate the human heart with fairness, shaping the future while honoring the past. This juxtaposition of privilege and duty is layered as richly as the garments worn. It is both the burden and the blessing of those born to monarchy. Yet, unlike any other, this perspective is not wholly unattainable. Citizens who gather daily beneath the sweeping arches of the temple bring with them stories as rich as any art crafted in the palace workshops. The streets tell tales of frantic passion, relentless ambition, and hopeful beginnings. While the privilege of a throne is clear, the simplicity outside these walls carries its own form of nobility and fortitude, offering a different kind of wealth. As the morning progresses, shadows morph into tales of future decisions, and the past's echoes reverberate in quiet reflection. The privilege of waking amidst such splendor carries with it an inherent understanding of the responsibilities born, an enduring rhythm in a kingdom built on faith, prosperity, and wisdom. Every choice echoes through eternity, sculpting destinies. Gazing into the shimmering expanse beyond, as preparations for royal audiences and judgments punctuate the atmosphere, the present weaves seamlessly into future undertakings. The transition is present like a pebble in a stream, hinting at the stories yet to unfold, where this life of majestic mornings harmonizes with responsibilities as steadfast as the palace itself. In the grandeur, there lies also a tale of stewardship, duty, and honor, a tale to unfurl with the rising sun. Imagine awakening in a brilliant palace where gilded walls shimmer like captured sunlight, each corner echoing the luxury stitched into the very essence of your divine status. Your very presence has the power to command not just subjects, but the natural forces of the world, all while resting beneath the staggering grandeur of the glittering Egyptian sky. Yet, as much as this royal life promises magnificence, it comes wrapped in invisible threads of expectation, quietly winding together honor with hefty duty. From golden thrones to richly carved symbols of the gods, every object whispers of domination and deity, reinforcing how your life is sewn into the fabric of existence. As Pharaoh, you're seen not just as a ruler, but as a living god, a deity manifested in human form, holding the keys to both earthly and celestial realms. This perception grants an unparalleled reverence, but chains it to a weighty mantle of power and responsibility. Your every decision, every gesture, must align with Mat, the sacred principle of balance and order that keeps the universe on its rightful course. With your rise, the drumbeat of expectations swells, echoing through the marble halls and extending into the steamy expanse of the Nile Valley. Every eye rests upon you, gazing not just for leadership, but seeking divine wisdom in every action. You must navigate these waters with grace and insight, steering toward the prosperity and spiritual fulfillment of your lands. It's not merely about maintaining lavish rituals that showcase your status. It's a profound expectation that as you rise, all of Egypt rises with you. Consider the ceremonial duties that tether your divine identity to the mortal realm. The gods, shown through enormous statues and intricate carvings, demand your constant attention. Festivals dedicated to Amun-Ra or Isis are not just exercises of splendor, but vital threads in the tapestry keeping everything in harmony. You interpret dreams, make offerings, and lead rituals designed to appease these powerful beings, acting as the essential intermediary that bridges the mortal and the divine. Success or failure in these rituals could sway the fates, altering the winds that blow across the kingdom or the floods that nurture the land. Each morning, as the sun spills over the horizon, expectations unfurl alongside the morning mist. They sit, not solely fixed on the celestial or the ceremonial, but extend firmly into Earth's tangible realms. Your dynasty is responsible for enormous feats of engineering and architecture. The pyramids, obelisks, and temples that litter the sacred landscape. These constructions aren't mere monuments, but are lasting legacies that must defy time and declare your place across eternity. Projects that span decades become the signature of your divine tenure, entrusted to you to ensure the gods' favor and your subjects' devotion. But even these stone giants pale compared to the true test of divine rule, maintaining Mat in governance and military matters. The weight of your gilded crown mirrors this balance. You must protect the people from the threats of foreign invasion and internal strife, preserving the hard-won borders of your sprawling empire. Every military campaign and diplomatic envoy sent to lands across the Mediterranean and beyond carries the gravity of divine sanction. Others might only see land and power, but you must calculate every step as a reflection of celestial intention. Victory is not just conquest, but a statement, a reiteration of the gods' favor and the continuation of your sacred duty. Yet it's the subtle, everyday acts of governance where the true strain often resides. Decisions on resources, alliances, and policies are filled with opportunities to manifest your divine wisdom. The balance doesn't rest solely on campaigns and ceremonies. It's in the grain stores, distributed not just for survival, but as proof of the good life which the divine withholds to only the virtuous and the wise. Your every choice, from tax laws to marriage alliances reverberates through your subjects' lives, echoing their faith in your divine mandate. As the sun sets and shadows slip across the bustling streets of Thebes or Memphis, you confront the layered complexities of your role, impacting thousands of lives spreads before you like an unrolled papyrus scroll, marked by centuries of history, each line reflecting your decisions. The whispers of destiny may have brought you to this incredible perch, but daily diligence and wisdom keep you there, requiring reflection, discernment, and an unwavering sense of cosmic justice. The challenges of being perceived as more than mortal, of holding such a revered position, peak beyond physical opulence into layers of existential contemplation. With each decision, you weld your aspirations to your empires, gleaning wisdom from the stars, while your feet sink into the rich Egyptian soil, ruling not through fear or coercion, but as a beacon of cosmic balance. Your legacy becomes etched in granite, spirit, and the unending tides of the Nile. And then there's the seamless turn the narrative takes toward the pressing domain of governance and military decisions. Just as the moon follows the sun, these responsibilities loom large, calling for a union of strategy and spirituality. Commanding state rituals and marshaling troops require the same kind of reverence, a testament to your living deity. Each decision serves not only your time, but generations, a continuation of stories whispered against temple walls and marked with the footprints of divine kingship. As this tale of ancient splendor and duty marches on, it's clear the balance of divine rule encompasses more than just power. It intertwines with the soul of existence. And though the journey continues beyond the opulent entrances of your golden palace, each step forward illuminates the path stretching back, a reflection of your profound weight, wisdom, and the enduring, unrealized potential that comes with standing at the summit of civilization, yet teetering on the edge of mortality. As the stars emerge above the Nile, casting their silent judgment, you are left to ponder. Is greatness measured by the monuments left behind, or by the unseen sacrifices etched in the hearts of those who served beneath your gaze? In the realm of ancient Egypt, where divine rule cloaked leaders in both reverence and responsibility, the expectations placed upon a pharaoh weighed as heavily as the crown itself. These expectations were not just a matter of prestige. They demanded a continuous cycle of governance and defense, orchestrating the daily symphony that kept the kingdom intact. To be pharaoh was to be both deity and shepherd. Each day began with the rising sun, casting light on the land of the Nile, and ended with its descent, leaving the solitary figure of the ruler to wonder what footprint their decisions would leave on the sands of time. Governance, in this divine capacity, transcended mere administration. Pharaohs executed their duties under the watchful gaze of their subjects, their actions seen as extensions of divine will. The rituals of governance were steeped in tradition and expectation. To organize the affairs of the state, the pharaoh would convene a council of advisors, each specializing in different aspects of governance, from agriculture to architecture. These gatherings were not mere discussions, but ritualistic events where the will of the gods was believed to manifest through the pharaoh's decisions. When decrees were made, they weren't just words etched in stone. They were considered the very voice of the cosmos, shaping Egypt's destiny. For instance, when a decree was passed to construct a new waterway, it wasn't just a practical decision to enhance trade or agriculture. It symbolized the pharaoh's commitment to nurturing the land and emphasizing their role as the intercessor between the earthly and the divine. The pharaoh's endorsement would have the irrigation channels snake through the fields, not solely bringing sustenance, but a reminder of the ruler's divine favor. Each stroke of pen, nay, stylus, was a testament to their ordained right to rule, a gesture of their regard for the people and acknowledgement of their profound responsibility. Military decisions, fraught with their own complexities, mirrored the deliberation of governance responsibilities, though they carried their particular burdens. Pharaohs stood ever ready, poised between the virtues of assertiveness and caution. They had to safeguard the kingdom's borders, protect their people from external threats, and occasionally expand their domain. All actions that had to resonate with both earthly consequences and celestial favor. Consider the commitment required in planning a campaign against a neighboring territory threatening Egypt's sacred borders. Such a decision necessitated an immense understanding of both military strategies and the divine signals believed to guide them. A pharaoh would work with generals to oversee meticulous preparations, ensuring everything from logistics to troop morale was attentively managed. As the ruler of Egypt, a pharaoh would incorporate sacred rituals into preparations, securing divine blessing before leading their forces into battle. Pyramidal structures of command and literal pyramids, illuminating successes and failures alike, served as eternal symbols of the pharaoh's decisions on war or diplomacy. As these matters pressed upon a pharaoh's mind, they also served to underscore the importance of balance, encouraging trust amongst the people, and maintaining their devotion was critical. Rulers needed to remain a steadfast anchor, regardless of whether their decisions brought celebration or scrutiny. Through myriad acts and decisions, big and small, they sculpted a narrative that reinforced their divine image while simultaneously securing Egypt's prosperity. Temples erected in their names bore not just their likeness, but also memorialized their doctrines and feats, telling tales of leaders who once stood over the land. Likewise, they reformulated and reiterated laws to benefit future generations, praising the gods with their piety and earning the people's fervor continually. When evening swallowed the horizon, the pharaoh was left with time to reflect, with only the whispers of the Nile and the moonlight as companions. They pondered the day's earlier events and pondered the enormity of their role. Leadership had an innate solitude, an isolated contemplation that interpreted power, responsibility, and an undying legacy. They wondered what stories their monuments would recount over the centuries. Encased in solitude under the celestial expanse, pharaohs gauged the extent of their influence. Were they ensuring equilibrium, remained between prosperity and poverty, peace and war, life and divine duty? The reflections were ephemeral, meant to prepare them for the demands that would amass with the next dawn. They strove for a legacy, knowing fully that each act undertaken was not etched merely in stone, but in hearts and histories. Thus, the governance and military decisions that defined a pharaoh's life epitomized a profound cycle of judgment and introspection. Through complex rituals and monumental choices, a pharaoh embodied divine will within earthly mandates. While aware of short-lived glory, they aspired to contribute a legacy that, like the sun touching the horizon with its radiant glow, would endure and illuminate time. However long the shadow cast by such solitary musings under the moonlit sky over the Nile. As the last streaks of sun dipped below the horizon, the day's demands slowly ebbed away, leaving the pharaoh to solitude beside the eternal Nile. Earlier, the seat of power had been a whirlwind, a chain of advisors and generals, each with a voice that became sharper amidst oak hallways and stone chambers. Decisions tethered to empire, blood, and honor weighed heavily, and every decree carried ripples that reached far beyond the palace walls. But now, with the cool night air surrounding you and the gentle whisper of the river filling the silence, there was a rare moment to breathe and reflect. The moon hung high and bright above, a silver sentinel watching over Pharaoh's kingdom. Its light danced soulful patterns on the river, where the current flowed with an everlasting persistence, much like the unyielding necessity of leadership itself. The duties of guiding a nation, many often reduced to fate and prophecy, were his alone. Why should the heavy cloak of expectations possess such silence in the night, when the day had deafened senses with noise and urgency? The Nile, with its history and mystery, mirrored ancient echoes of rulers past, each leaving a footprint in time, a memory in the silt. The pharaoh saw these reflections as stark reminders, illuminating the dual nature of power, its allure and its isolation. In this solitude, with only the stars as witnesses, thoughts of legacy became more tangible. As leader, his choices would inscribe an indelible mark on the ages. Did he once envy those who cast no shadow in annals, those who could walk unknown through history without the towering weight of expectation pressing down? Standing by the river, sand beneath, feet worn by time, he considered how history judged his predecessors. Some were remembered for their victories, others for monumental acts of faith or cunning diplomacy. The pharaoh learned to see their endeavors as strained attempts to wrest meaning from mortal span. Neither treasure nor temple could entirely capture the essence of eternity. In the moon's glow, the difference between a ruler and a mere mortal shrank to a fragile whisper on the wind. Here, simplicity prevailed, and the majesty of earthly life felt transient yet profound. The pharaoh turned inward, wondering if each twist and turn in governance, in every treaty or war, every cultural flourish or architectural venture, created a deeper understanding or widened the chasm between past and present. The ethereal hum of the night seemed to validate his fears. It was both a companion and a challenge, illustrating how the future relied on more than mere existence. It hinged on conscientious acts, wisdom, and the intimate, unceasing dialogue with a history bound together by fragile threads. Waves of realization splashed softly, tangible and elusive in equal measure. Alongside empathy and discernment, the pharaoh navigated a world that shifted under political plateaus and moral tectonics, some seen, some foreshadowed only in dreams. In those dreams, the crescendos of 1,000 silent thoughts converged, and in that timeless space, the past and future, strength and fragility, brilliance and fading echoes were one. Feel the chill of the night's breeze wrapping around you, harmonizing unfortunate realities offset by the beauty of hope. It is an ache, a reminder of the days to come and the power you wield, power that can forge or ruin lives. You envision the delicate balance you must maintain. One wrong step doubles back on itself as spirals dizzy over spirals, unfurling quietly, silently, multiplying into chaos, unseen until too late. Here, beneath the drift of clouds awash in numinous silver, your decisions take shape, clear and hazy, gentle yet unyielding, like the river's unending journey toward an infinite ocean. You understand now that legacy is not just mortar and stone or the outlines traced onto papyrus scrolls for the world beyond. It lives in the rumbling growl of perspective, in time transformed into fine grains of reality. Conflict resolved with grace, ecosystems nurtured with care, prosperity earned honestly. These are the rarer bricks you lay down with authenticity. A world filtered through your integrity might just outlast you. You grasp at threads of destiny, of choice, of a life stretching beyond immediate capture. There is solitude here, vast and encompassing, and with it comes the clarity that history's echoes treat deeds with impartiality. You contemplate the coming dawn, the decisions that wait, the children of your present thoughts, drawn from deep wells where fortitude and wisdom blend with resilience and insight. And then you notice the appearance of light softening your outline, delineating your shape with the first warmth of morning. The world rearranges itself around your silhouette, turning the night's impressions into the foundation of future visions. Leaders rise and fall, and centuries will carry forward against the tide. But your path, this singular path, seeks out the fragile remnants of hope meant for all of humanity's embrace. The moon lingers above, a celestial overseer, promising comfort in eternity. It tethers your existence to transformation, coupling impurity with promise. You listen to the river, to the night, to the whispers rising within, and feel your legacy taking shape beneath the pressure of possible collapse. Perhaps it will inscribe truths newly forged, unmeasured, and unconstrained. And onward you go, toward a brightening horizon, as the Nile's depths breathe out a new morning and another chance. Possibility is anchored within you, brushing your deeds into immortality like sanded pearls. Solitude remains your companion, not as a burden, but as a vessel for reflection and quiet inspiration, a balance always guiding you forward, ever dwelling in memory and promise alike. When you wake as PHARAOH, you embrace the splendor and the impossible expectations that accompany divine status, and as each day begins, you are reminded the choices you make shape not just an empire, but the very memory of civilization. While power may rest on golden thrones, it is also anchored in humility and service. Even young minds may come to see that true leadership lies in the balance of ambition, wisdom, and care. Lessons whispered across the sands of time.